Okay, Starfield. Here we go. The lack of ground vehicles in the game is an absolute deal breaker for me. Now, of all the issues that there might be with Starfield, the vehicle thing for most people don't rank that high on the list. But for me, it is at the absolute top. A game like this is all about immersion. It is all about losing yourself in this world, starting up the game, and suddenly you are no longer whatever life you are currently living here on Earth. You are an explorer in the depths of space. That is what you are for that time. Anything within that game that breaks that immersion is a deal breaker. Anything that takes you out kills it. And the biggest thing for me that is going to kill this game's immersion is the fact that I use a spaceship to travel between planets, to travel between star systems in an enormous galaxy, and then I can select a spot anywhere on that planet and land there. But then when I leave my spaceship, I suddenly find myself in the 17th century and we haven't invented a way to traverse the ground other than walking. It will completely ruin the experience for me. Obviously, there is still a lot to be said about this game. There's still things that need to be revealed about this game. And we don't know if there is a narrative reason for why there are no vehicles in the game. They need to come out and explain and say, look, this is why there are no vehicles. To make sense from a narrative perspective. I can understand in the development process, well, the engine doesn't really allow it, or there wasn't enough time because we spent so much time developing the ship system and we spent so much time on all the planets and all that. We didn't have time to develop a whole ground traversal system. Fine, I can get behind all of that. But in the narrative of the game, there must be an explanation for the fact that I cannot get a vehicle out to help me traverse a planet. In the context of that world, it makes no sense. So let's talk about the jetpack. They said, okay, there's no vehicle, but there is a jetpack. So the other way that this works is if in the context of the game, they say, the reason why we don't use vehicles is because the jetpack is so much more effective, which means from a gameplay perspective, we will have to be able to traverse the environment so fast and so effectively that a ground vehicle would have been actually a hindrance. If they can explain it in that way, then I'm all for it. But until I get that feel for it, until I read the reviews and I see what people say about it, I'm just not going to buy into this game until then. I'm just not. I can already hear everyone screaming, saying, so you're going to ignore what will potentially be a phenomenal game just because of one missing aspect. It's not that I want to ignore the game because of this. It is in fact because I want to experience this game in the best way that I possibly can. So I would rather wait a year until that feature finds its way into the game and then play it when I know that one of my biggest gripes was sorted out. And now when I eventually play the game, I can actually experience it in the best possible way. That's why I would rather wait before buying this game, wait before playing it, and know that the experience that I'm going to get is everything that I wanted. There is, of course, one other reason why I will not be buying this game at long. And that reason is